Good morning. Good morning. It's time to rise and receive. Welcome. Welcome to your 10-minute morning send off. And today we're going to talk about loneliness, how to soothe your loneliness, and what loneliness has to do with receiving your fulfillment. So, if this is something that resonates for you, if this is something that you'd like to get some support with or have new ways of looking at loneliness itself, then I think you're going to like what we have to do today together. So my name is Sonia Miller, speaker, coach, and best-selling author, if you don't know me, and I am passionate about teaching people how to receive by unlearning struggle. And one of the things I love to illuminate is that receiving is actually the most natural thing in the world. We are born with a capacity to receive, not just receive and receive easily, but to do so from a place of this really deep knowing and awareness that life is all sufficiency of supply, that there is fulfillment and abundance right here, right now, in every given moment. But we can't control it. And one of the things I love to teach my students, and I'm a broken record about, is creating your reality does not mean controlling your reality. So you can create your reality, but it's really about doing it in partnership with the kindness of life and understanding that if you try to control it by saying, I'll receive this, but I won't receive that, you actually kill the flow of all of the abundance and fulfillment that's here. So one of the things that we learn to do is we learn how to receive everything that life offers, and to understand that while sometimes life will give us things that we don't like, we only suffer when we resist it and we don't know how to relate to it in a productive way. But when we know how to receive the discomfort of life, the pain of life, which is just a part of life, and we know how to do so in an empowering way, it will move on through, and we can continue to invite the abundance, the flow, and the fulfillment of life, and really open up to all kinds of things manifesting for us on an inner level and an outer world that's better and more expansive and more fulfilling than we could ever imagine with our minds, because our minds are very limited. So receiving is about going beyond the mind, beyond action, to partner with life itself and then see what unfolds. So today we're going to talk about soothing loneliness, because this is one of the things that causes us pain and suffering at times when we don't know how to relate to it in a productive way. So what I do here at Rise and Receive is every morning I pull one card from my Receive card deck, and I will read to you the receiving principle. I will unpack it. We'll go into it a little bit more deeply, and then I'll give you a willingness mantra to send you off on your day, which activates the power of invitation. So you really can partner with life and summon what's available here in beautiful and much easier ways than the hard work ethic is capable of producing. Okay? So with that, I invite you to sit back, let these words wash over you. You can always come back and re-listen either here or on YouTube, and just let these words just touch you as deeply as possible. Just let them do their own thing. Okay? So here it goes. Soothe your loneliness. Deep within your being is a pure, sweet, innocent part of you, your original self, that is unconditionally worthy of having every need met and nourished. This aspect of you, your natural innocence, deserves every possible expression of love simply because you exist. Whether you need or want safety, attention, presence, time, space, rest, protection, availability, play, reassurance, or something else. And while this is the truth of your natural worthiness, you may struggle for any number of reasons to truly know this. One reason is that as humans, we experience conditional love. This isn't a judgment. It isn't good or bad. It's simply a fact. The physical world is one of conditions that we learn to navigate. When you feel lonely, you may seek comfort outside of yourself. But comfort in the physical world is conditional, inconsistent, and unpredictable. At best, you may be blessed with loving people and a rich support system that you can go to when you feel lonely. At worst, you may not know how to connect with others in this way, or it's simply not your current reality. However, as you become willing to nurture your loneliness in relationship with yourself, two very powerful things become possible. Firstly, you open the door to discover that you have much more power to soothe your loneliness than you realized, and are not necessarily at the mercy of other people's availability to find comfort. Secondly, you expand your capacity to receive, because your willingness to show up for yourself nurtures and expands your genuine, inborn worthiness. As you start showing up for yourself with an abundance of loving attention, you become the physical embodiment of this consciousness and create that reality in your physical world. In other words, as you start to show up for yourself, life shows up for you with kindness in expected and unexpected ways. Next time you feel lonely, hear this as a call for more loving attention from yourself, not less. Sit with yourself, be present with yourself, and ask your natural innocence, what do you need from me? Give this part of you as much time and space as possible. Listen and trust what you hear. Then, as best you can, be curious about how you can meet this need. Even if you don't know how, your willingness will invite the kindness of life to reveal your next steps. So that's soothe your loneliness. And with that, I'd like to give you your willingness mantra for the day. You can use it anytime. Again, you can't say or think or sing this mantra enough. Okay? I am willing to receive loving attention and connection in ways better than I ever imagined. I am willing to receive loving attention and connection in ways better than I ever imagined. So I hope that this is something that's resonating for you. If you needed to hear about loneliness today, or if you know of somebody in your life that's struggling with loneliness, I invite you to share this, pass this along to anyone that you think it can help. And I have lots to say on the topic of loneliness. I've I've taken a deep dive into loneliness over the course of my life, and there's been some significant chapters where I've really come to understand the anatomy of loneliness, what loneliness is really about. So there's a lot I could say today, but I think there's one thing I really want to highlight for everyone today, and that is I want to make the distinction between loneliness and aloneness, and also relationship and loneliness. So most people know, if you think about loneliness, that you know that there's a difference between being alone and being lonely, and that it's possible to be alone and not be lonely. Okay? Most people also know that you can be with people. You can be among many people, or even people that are close to you, the people that you love the most or that love you, and still feel lonely. I remember really well when I was in an international women's organization that was really all about personal empowerment. And here I was with these women that were dedicated to personal growth and each other and our success, and really were studying relationship. And I remember talking to one of my mentors, and I said, wow, I'm amazed. I mean, I feel lonely. She said, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. So we can be with people and still feel lonely, which is a clue that being with people or connecting with people with the physical world is not always going to be the comfort that you're seeking. Sometimes it'll help, but sometimes it won't. And in the same way, you can be alone and not feel lonely. Okay, so once again, what does this point to? That loneliness begins, at least addressing it and soothing it and comforting it, it's really going to be an opportunity to go deeper into your relationship with yourself. And that's something that was a really important concept for me, which is you can think of yourself as alone, or you can think of yourself as having a relationship with you. And the truth is, you always have a relationship with you. How you show up for yourself, that's what varies. You can either ignore yourself, you can feel lonely and try to fix yourself, or judge yourself, or think that you shouldn't feel lonely, or try to distract yourself. So you can relate to your loneliness in a way that's not loving, that's not attentive, that's not patient. You can rush yourself. You can think, I need to get to the answer, I need to get to the root of this. Or you can relate to yourself with as much loving compassion, kindness, and gentleness that you would wish for. Let's say you dream or fantasize about somebody showing up for you a certain way. Well, what if you started to explore how to give that to yourself? What I have found in my journey with loneliness and my journey with just real peace and intimacy and connection with myself is that as I view this as a relationship and I explore how to show up for myself, that's when I start to relax into a certain stability in my innate value, my natural worthiness. Because as I show up for myself, which is what I invite you to explore, you're giving your consciousness the message, I am valuable, I am worthy. I'm showing up not because I performed, not because I was perfect, not because I earned it, but just because I exist. I'm feeling lonely. It's a call for loving attention. I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to show up for myself the way I would for the most innocent child that needed attention, that needed a hug, that needed love. And every time you do this, your capacity to soothe your loneliness goes deeper and deeper and becomes more natural to you. And then because you're doing this in relationship with yourself, life can rise up to meet you and you can attract all kinds of relationships and comfort and soothing in the physical world in ways that maybe were more difficult for you before. So it's a discovery process, but you have much more power to soothe your own loneliness than probably you realize. And that's my hope with this card today, is that this is illuminating some places that you can really reclaim your power to soothe this within yourself whenever it arises, and also to comfort others when they're struggling with loneliness. Okay? So here's your mantra again for the day. I am willing to receive loving attention and connection in ways better than I ever imagined. So I hope you have a great day. I hope this is something that really nurtures you today and maybe helps others. If you like this, if you found this helpful, please like, share, subscribe if you prefer YouTube, and pass this along. Pass this along. It helps me reach people that I'm here to serve. Also, if you're enjoying these readings, these Receive card deck readings at Rise and Receive, and you'd like to get your own deck as soon as they become available, go to www.receivecarddeck.com, put in your name and email, and you will be on the early bird list. So I'll let you know when they're out and available. And also you'll be among those people who get access to special bonuses and special receiving opportunities. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow at the next Rise and Receive. Bye, everybody.